So now we'll deal with a very important topic in management, that is functions to be performed by a manager. Okay, we know that there are different levels of managers in an organization. So each level of manager, they have to perform one or more function of all these in order to effectively function his organization. So here we have actually grouped the functions of the manager into 8. That is, first one, forecasting. It begins with the forecasting. Then in the order it goes on. That is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, controlling and decision making. Okay, so these are the certain set of management functions which is to be performed by a manager in order to achieve all the predetermined goals set in his enterprise. So now we will go on in detail about the functions of manager. So first function to be performed is forecasting. This forecasting comes prior to that of the planning process. Okay, so we first of all we have to decide what we should plan. Okay, this is based upon our external environment. For example, initially we have to see where our product is standing in an enterprise. Okay, so there may be a competitor. So all these factors, external factors, we have to consider in order to plan. So this forecasting step comes prior to that of the planning process. Okay, so forecasting step is necessary preliminary to planning. It estimates what should be done in the future. That is, if you are having a production unit, first of all we have to begin with our sales forecast. That is, how will be our sales if we introduced our product currently in the market. Okay, how it will be. So accordingly we have to plan. If there is a competitor, we have to arrange our sales accordingly. We have to arrange our quantity and quality accordingly. So followed by the production forecast, how much we should produce. Then only we can plan for the raw materials. Okay. Followed by all the financial forecast, cost for finance, purchase or what will be our profit loss, etc. First of all, we should have an estimate of all this. Then only we can start the actual planning process. Okay. So the next step is planning. Planning, we are going to consciously determine what are the actions to be taken. So that is very important. Conscious determination of the future course of the action to achieve the desired results. So in planning, we are going to ask many questions like what we have to achieve, when we have to achieve, or how we have to achieve. So in planning only we are actually setting all the objectives, rules, procedures, etc. for obtaining of our goals. Now in planning, what we mean by planning is that consciously we are going to make a decision. That is, we are going to make a decision on what all things we are going to employ. Okay, so that is very important. A planning will become a real thing only if you are going to make a commitment to the human resources or the material resources. So once we have planned, we are actually making a decision, okay, on what all things we are going to do in our enterprise. So it is actually planning process is a commitment process, and the planning process, most importantly, it is being performed by the top level managers. Obviously we know that lower level managers, they no need to plan anything. It is the top level managers who are going to plan their things in their enterprise. Okay, next function is the organizing function. Now organizing function is more importantly dealt by the middle level managers, because these middle level managers, their function is to divide the work in a convenient manner. They will be knowing which type of people are suitable for which type of job. For example, in an enterprise itself, in a production unit, there may be different type of departments. So first of all, dividing the work and giving the person in the right job is very much important. So grouping of the duties in the form of position and grouping the position into department and section. Okay. And another very important thing is that we have to delegate the authority. Okay. We have to delegate the authority or the responsibility to the persons. Then only the work is said to be organized. So we are having many type of material resources, human resources, etc. So all these we have to properly organize with the people. Okay, that is people should be assigned the work properly with proper responsibility, or some persons should be even authorized to carry out the work. Okay, that is what you mean by organizing. The next important function is the staffing. Okay, staffing, as we all know, will be most importantly done by the top level managers. Okay, and the HR department take care of the staffing process. That is to place the right person at the right job. And we know that it is a continuous process. Staffing not only include that selection or recruiting of a person, but also promotion of the people or retirement of the people. So we can say that staffing is a continuous process. Now another most important function of a manager is directing. Now we know that the low level managers who are in direct contact with the operative workforce, they have to direct and control their workers more. So when compared to the top level managers, the lower level managers have to perform this type of function more, that is the directing function. Okay, so when people are there or available in the organization, they must be aware what they are expected to do in the organization. So as a manager, we have to do what? Communication to the subordinates. This communication is very much important. Then only the workers will be aware of their work. Okay, so this direction, you can actually subdivide your direction work into three. That is, first of all, we have to give proper instruction to the subordinates. Okay, simply giving them instructions or stating the rules or procedure is not enough. Once they have started their work, we have to continuously guide them. So that is the second point, guiding the subordinates to do the work. Okay, continuously we have to guide them after giving the instruction. That is, if a problem arises in between the process, we have to guide them in how to eliminate such problem and carry their work further. Then next we have to supervise the subordinates to make sure that the work is done according per the rule. That is, we have instructed to them, we have instructed to the subordinates, we have also guided them during their process. Then we have to supervise them whether they are obtaining the proper results. If not, why they have not obtained the proper result, next time we should correct them. Okay, so directing, it is involving the following functions, that is leadership, communication, motivation and supervision. So all these qualities are important. We should be a proper leader, we should be able to communicate properly, we should be able to motivate and supervise our workers. So as a manager, only if we have these qualities, we will be able to direct our workers. Now we know that in an enterprise, a manager would agree that he is facing all the problems mainly because of the different type of behavior from different type of people. So the manager should be a effective leader also. A leadership is a very important quality required by the manager in order to all the motivate his subordinates for the effective establishment of the work. So as a leader, it's a quality or behavior of a person by which he could inspire the confidence and trust in his subordinates. So this leadership quality is very much important, because then only the workers will cooperate with the superior. Okay, so in order to get this maximum cooperation and to guide the activities in an organized effort, a manager should also be a effective leader. He should be a role model for the others in the organization. Only if he is carrying out his work properly, he will be seen as a role model. Then only he could inspire others. So inspiring the workers is important for a manager. Next important quality required is communication. That is, effectively a manager should be able to communicate to the workers. That is, all the ideas must be transmitted, received and understood by others for the purpose of achieving desired results. Now this communication can also be in the written form. Okay, many a times it is required for a manager to prepare proper documentations. So this communication may be either verbal or written, but it is necessary that the ideas should be properly communicated with the workers. Now, next quality is the motivation. That is inspiring the subordinates to do the work effectively and efficiently. Okay, this motivation can actually be grouped along with the leadership. That is inspiring of the people. Only if a manager is an effective leader, he can properly inspire and motivate the worker to do the work properly. Next important quality is the supervision in order to ensure that the work is carried out as per the work is being established and also the workers are doing as they are directed. Okay, so supervision is important. That is, we have to check whether the predetermined goals has been achieved, and another important thing, whether the workers are doing the work as per the direction, or if simply we have attained the results by another process. That is also very important. Only then a effective planning can be taken at the next level. So the supervision is very important for a manager. Now, whichever institution we are working, okay, harmony is very important because there should not be any conflicts between the workers. Only if we are having a pleasant and a friendly working atmosphere, we will be able to attain our objectives in the desired manner. So, important function to be performed by a manager is the coordination. Now, this coordination is very important at all level of managers, for all level of managers. That is, even for a top manager, the coordination function is very important. And also for the lower level managers, coordinating his workers is important. So properly we have to communicate to the workers and make the plans to regulate the activities. That is, not only formal relationship is necessary. We should be also having informal relationship with our workers. Then only the coordination will be resulting. Okay, so if we are having a coordination with the workers, obviously there will not be any type of conflicts occurring and the workers will be more motivated to work more. Another important function to be performed most importantly by the lower level manager is controlling. Controlling means that we have to identify, okay, what were our actual results, whether we have attained these actual results. If not, we have to find out the reason. That is comparison of the actual result with the expected results as set by the planning process. Then identify what was the deviation between the two and take the proper corrective action. So next time when we are planning, we have to achieve the correct results. Okay, so after controlling, again we will start with the planning process. So in case of controlling, we can divide this controlling process into three. First of all, set the standard goals or standard objective. After that, when completing the process, we have to measure the individual and the collective job performance. That is, the work performed by each worker as well as the overall result achieved. Then if there is a deviation between the intended result and the actual result, we have to third step take the corrective action. And after taking the corrective action, we have to plan again for the Next, process. So management is a continuous process. Once we have started, say, from forecasting, planning, etc., and we have ended up with controlling. Immediately after controlling, again we have to do forecasting and planning process. So we have seen that we have different levels of manager. The top management has also to deal with many important functions like that of planning, coordination, staffing, etc. Similarly, middle level managers has to concentrate more upon the directing, controlling, coordination, etc. And also the middle level manager has to perform another important function also, that is organizing. Whereas for the lower level manager, planning is not that important, but coordination and controlling is more important. So now we have seen all the functions of managers. Now we'll see about the qualities required by a manager. We can guess some of the qualities required by a manager. Now rather than these points, we can also add many more qualities. So obviously we know that a manager should be well educated. He should be holding, say, a degree in management, but that is not enough. He should be having sufficient practical experiences, creativity and personal skill in order to carry out his management process. But the most important quality is obviously he should be properly educated in the management field. Then he should have attained sufficient training for achieving the harmony in his organization. Then only he will be able to properly communicate with his workers or train his subordinates. So after possessing the specialized knowledge, he should also be trained, given an induction program in order to further train his workers. Again, he should be intelligent enough in dealing with all the crises. Then he should be obviously having a leadership quality. Then only he can inspire or motivate the workers for the establishment of the goals. He should be having sufficient foresight. Okay, so we all know that forecasting is a very important step. So only if the manager is having the quality of foresight, he will be effectively doing the forecasting process in management. Then he should be matured enough in dealing with his workers. Then next quality, he should be possessing, after education obviously he will be possessing sufficient technical knowledge. Next, he should be possessing the human skills, that is a human relations attitude, how to deal with the different behaviors of different persons. So we know that society being very complex now, he should be having sufficient skills in dealing with human beings. Next, self-confidence. That is, he should be possessing the self-confidence. Then only he could effectively perform all the functions. Even if a crisis occur or if a bad situation, a sudden problem arises, he should stay calm. He should not panic. Okay, he should only provide confidence to his workers that the objectives could be properly attained. So these are some of the important qualities of a manager which is required. We can add more qualities. Now coming to the next topic, that is the roles of managers. Okay, what do we mean by roles is organized set of behaviors belonging to a position. That is the definition of role of a manager. Now, we know that certain managerial principles like science, it is obtained by means of observation. So, Henry Mintzberg, he conducted a comprehensive study consisting of 5 chief executives and he categorized the roles of manager. First categorization is interpersonal roles. Next one, informational roles. And third one is decisional roles. So, based upon an observation conducted by Henry, he categorized the roles of managers into 3. Now, obviously, we will be confused with the functions of the manager and roles of the manager. Now, both of them are different. Functions of the managers are what the managers should do, and roles of the managers are what the managers actually doing. Okay, so now we will see in under these categorization, that is interpersonal roles, informational roles and decisional roles, what are the managers actually doing. Now we can categorize these managerial roles. First one into interpersonal roles. Now under interpersonal roles, a manager has got the role of a figurehead, a leader and a liaison. Okay, so under figurehead, that is, he is going to obviously represent our institution or organization. So all the symbolic duties will be performed by the managers. That is, in case of any functions going on in the organization, he is the one who has to do the inauguration, make speech or has to serve on committee. So he is going to be the figurehead of our institution. Next one is a leadership, relating to leadership quality. So he have to motivate, inspire and set an example. That is, he have to be powerful to his subordinates. Okay, that is the second quality, leadership quality under interpersonal role. Another one is a liaison. That is, he have to maintain a relationship with the outside public. He is only going to represent our institution to the outside world also. So for the outside world, he will represent and he will maintain a continuous relationship, say with other organization, government or industry group, competitors, etc. Okay, next categorization is the informational roles. So under informational roles, again he will perform the activity, certain activity, that is, he have to monitor continuously. He have to be updated about the all the technologies, external environments, etc. So if he is a manager, he should be himself updated. That is coming under the role of monitoring. He have to observe, collect and review data on the meetings of standards. And again he have to be a disseminator. He have to transmit all the information inside the organization. That is, he should be judgmental about all this internal and external environment and he should communicate to his workers inside the organization. Then next role is a spokesperson. That is, he should communicate all this information not only inside the organization but also outside the organization. That is, he have to engage in all the public relationship. He also have to defend his organization in front of the others and he also have to speak to the others about all the information which is available inside the organization. At the same time, he has to defend for his organization. So these three, monitor, disseminator and spokesperson role, come under the informational roles of the manager. Now next one, decisional role is very important, especially for a top level manager. So under decisional role, again you can categorize it into entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator and negotiator. Because in all these aspects he has to make a decision. So coming to the first one, entrepreneur. A manager should also be an entrepreneur. That is, he have to initiate a change, whatever change is required. For example, maybe it may be in the case of say finance, or it may be in the case of building up a new infrastructure, etc. So whatever decision, he should also be a good entrepreneur. So he have to authorize action, set goal, formulate plans, etc. Next one, he should be a disturbance handler. If a conflict is arising between the workers or if any complaint is being raised by a worker. So whatever things occur between the worker, a manager has to take care. So he should be a disturbance handler. And also counter action of competitors, that there may be several competitors in the market. So he should handle all these type of disturbance. Next role is the resource allocation. He should decide in whichever resources to be allocated. That is, maybe a human resource, capital resource, material resource, etc. It is approval of budget, schedules and promotion, and also setting of priority for the resources. Okay, then the function of a negotiator, that is, he should carry out agreements with the customers, suppliers, agencies, or even with the competitors. He should have the role of a negotiator. So these are the decisional roles. That is, a manager should be capable of taking a proper decision. These roles are actually being carried out by the managers in an organization.